Currently, Bangkok generates night soil progressively, which is required to have a good sanitary treatment. It is expected that the volume of this waste will increase in corresponding to the growth of the population. Bangkok Metropolitan Administration or BMA realizes that the significant volume of night soil is needed to be treated, so 2 night soil treatment plants have been constructed and implemented. The plants are located at Arnut and Nong Kham West disposal stations. At Arnut Treatment Plant, the night soil is operated by Pairo Sompong Panit. In this plant, night soil can be treated by up to 600 cubic meters per day with activated sludge process. The night soil collection areas include 18 districts in east side of Bangkok. Every day, the truck after collects the night soil from households will go to the treatment plant at Arnut. When arriving to the plant, the truck firstly goes to the weighing station to check the weight of the night soil, then loads into the receiving area. The night soil later is transferred to the drum screen while the coarse waste is trapped and fallen into the conveyor. The coarse waste will be moved to the storage area and finally shifted to the waste transfer station. The truck is weighed again before leaving the plant. Staff at the weighing station can record the difference of incoming and outgoing trips, which is the net weight of the night soil generated from 18 districts per day. It is compulsory to inspect and accredit the weighing station by Ministry of Commerce every 6 months. The night soil that goes through the drum screen will slowly flow to grit removal tank. It will be retained in the tank with designed retention time that allows the small, heavy particulates, such as sand and gravel, or settle down to the bottom of the tank. The particulates will be removed by an installed crane to the storage area and ultimately go to the transfer station. Liquid part that coarse waste and small particulates are separated is pumped to the static screen in order to remove fiber and small particulates. They will be stored and then moved to the transfer station. The treated part will flow to an equalization tank. In the equalization tank, there is an aeration process to homogenize the treated night soil from the static screen process, and then is pumped to inject the chemical in the next process. The injection of chemical is divided into 2 steps, rapid and slow mixing units. Rapid mixing unit is injected with alum to make suspended solid in the liquid coagulates, and injected with lime to settle those solid form. Then the liquid part will be stirred by the agitator with 100 RPM and passed to a slow mixing unit. In the slow mixing unit, polymer will be added to augment the size and weight of the granular in the liquid with low speed of 60 RPM. Next, the liquid part will flow to the primary sedimentation tank. In the primary sedimentation tank, large and heavy particulate will settle as sludge form. The sludge is then pumped to the sludge tank. Wastewater continuously overflows from weir and go to a clarifier tank. Wastewater in the clarifier tank is pumped to activate sludge process, which is installed with diffusers. Microorganisms in the aeration tank will digest the organic matters in the wastewater from the previous process. They do properly when the GO value is over 2 mg per liter. That results in significant reduction in organic matters and less contamination in the wastewater. Organic matters are food of the microorganisms. As a result, the growth and volumes of microorganisms are proportional to the decrease of organic matters in the wastewater. Then the wastewater will be discharged to the final sedimentation tank. In the final sedimentation tank, all mechanisms are similar to what happens in the primary sedimentation tank. The quality of wastewater from the final sedimentation tank will improve, but there is still a suspended solid. Constructed wetland is designed to treat the rest suspended solid. The wetland is divided into two zones. First zone is shallow pond, which is planted with reed. The reed will trap suspended solid as its food. In the second zone, BOD and nitrogen in the wastewater decrease, with a floating plant such as water hyacinth, morning glory, and water mimosa. Wetland is lined with HDPE to make sure that the wastewater will not leach environment. Later wastewater is transferred to a contact pond, which the ozone injection system is installed. Ozone will disinfect the wastewater prior to discharge to natural surface water. Every day, discharged water will be collected and tested. The examination parameters include BOD, COD, SS, TKN, color, oil, and grease. All results must be under the standard stated in the term of reference provided by BMA. Next, sludge from the sedimentation tank is pumped to a belt filter for dewatering process. The belt press is comprised of belt tightened by rollers. Meanwhile, polymer is added into sludge for coagulation process. After dewatering process, sludge becomes cake form. Ultimately, truck will transfer these cakes to BMA composting plant. BMA always pays attention to environmental issues. Night soil treatment plant at Ono Station is one of intention project that BMA executes explicitly. Pairot Sompong Panit is assigned by BMA to be the operator of the plant. Discharged water after treatment process is required to be understanded inspected by BMA. Also, sludge from the process is used to mix with wood chips that ultimately produces compost. The compost would then distribute to BMA's public park.